Is a Jessa Duggar courtship announcement coming out? Sometimes, developments within the Duggar family shock fans. Most of the time, the family is grimly unsurprising and downright predictable. Jessa just debuted his very own Instagram account. He's 20 years old, but the family has been fairly strict about social media, as it might expose the children, including adults, to other people and ideas. However, there's one major exception: courtships. If one of their children is on the cusp of marriage, social media is a great place to showcase their courting. Is Jessa about to be married? Jessa turned 20 years old in May of 2024. Half a year later, he debuted on Instagram on November 8. As you can see in the photo below, the only pic that he had up for weeks, he was keen to make an impression. He posted what just might be the Duggar version of a thirst trap. Jessa wears a colorful shirt, scandalously tight jeans, and struck a pose that he must have intended to look casual and masculine. Comments from friends and fans alike showered Jessa with praise. It's clear that some of his friends were eager for Jessa to finally get an Instagram account. However, they'd have to know why his family's strict rules prevented him from getting it at a normal age. Everything about the Duggar cult's lifestyle is intended to enforce a hierarchy of control. Exposure to different people and ideas, from attending any sort of real school to making normal contacts on social media, could endanger that system. While girls in the Duggar family have usually not had their own social media until they're courting or married, Jessa Duggar had an Instagram account for almost 3 years before his courtship announcement. These strict rules seem to be way less strict for the boys. Fundamentalist cults view gender as paramount to social hierarchy, and while patriarchy hurts everyone, the girls get the short end of things. Jessa getting his own Instagram about 6 months before he's old enough to, legally, drink alcohol is kind of a big deal for the Duggars, but it's less surprising if he's about to have news to share. Still, many fans believe that the most likely reason for Jessa Duggar to join Instagram is if he's about to share courtship news. Some have wondered if he's looking for courtship before the Duggar curse hits. That whimsical name refers to how most or all of the Duggar men seem to age rapidly early in adulthood. This affliction is likely a combination of lifestyle, genetics, and poor styling. Even though he wouldn't be the first to find love on social media, that's how Jessa met Maddie Grace. The courtship news sounds more likely. The Duggar family blog has described Jessa as nice and hardworking, which doesn't really mean anything. Snarky fans quipped that Jim, Bob, and Michelle can't possibly know all of their children at this point. Allegedly, Jessa went to the Alert Academy, a ghastly IBLP facility with ominous boot camp vibes. This is the sort of facility that the Duggars might send one of their children to instead of counseling, or simply for questioning some cult rule. If Jessa Duggar is in a courtship, he may need to come clean about the Alert Academy thing. His new bride would need to know that he's not a monster like his eldest brother. Jinger Duggar grew up starring in reality TV shows. As an adult, she has also written multiple books offering an honest look at her upbringing in the cult-like Institute in Basic Life Principles, or IBLP. When it comes to her pregnancies, however, she has kept details to herself. But recently, Jinger Duggar shared a rare bump photo ahead of baby No. 3's due date. For those who lost track of the 19 Duggar kids, Jinger, 31, married Jeremy Vulo, 37, in 2016. They welcomed their first daughter, Felicity, in 2018, followed by another daughter, Evangeline, in 2020. Currently, the CountingOn star is pregnant with their third child, a boy. On February 2, Jinger took to her Instagram grid with a photo showing off her baby bump. The post included pictures from a wedding that she and Jeremy attended, but the featured image was a bathroom selfie of her resting her hand on her bump while wearing a black patterned dress and black high-heeled boots. Although Jinger didn't include a caption, she indicated the wedding was in Hollywood, California. Jinger's followers couldn't help but point out her pregnancy glow in the comments. One person declared, "You look so beautiful, Mama." Another Instagram user wrote, "Congrats to the new couple, and you sparkle, Jing." Meanwhile, someone else admitted, "I literally forgot you were pregnant." In October, Jinger and Jeremy announced the pregnancy in an exclusive interview with People. They also revealed that baby No. 3 was due in March 2025. "We're super excited," Jinger told People. The expecting mom said she was also thrilled not to be pregnant during the summer months this time around. "I'm actually all about it. Especially in the heat the past few days. I think I'm not super big pregnant, and so I'm not having to worry about the extra heat," she added. "I'm like, oh man, this is going to be such an awesome thing to go through pregnancy, not in the summer." It was so sweet because Jeremy and I were able to find out just the two of us together, and we opened up the little outfit and got to find out what the baby was, Jinger said in a January 13 YouTube video. When she asked Jeremy, "Are you excited?" the soon-to-be dad of 3 replied, "I'm speechless." Big sister Felicity, 6, got to be the one to tell Jinger's supersized family that she's getting a baby brother. At the family Christmas gathering, Jinger and Jeremy spilled the news to Felicity privately. She then announced, "Boy," to her aunts, uncles, cousins, and grandparents. Hopefully, Jinger's last few weeks of pregnancy go smoothly before baby No. 3 arrives. If you've been following the family for any length of time, then you're probably already familiar with the Duggars' ridiculous courtship rules. In fact, the kids were told that even being alone in the presence of another male or female might be enough to condemn them to hell for all eternity. Even by fundamentalist standards, these are pretty extreme beliefs, and it seems that they came as quite a shock to Jill Duggar's husband, Derek Dillard. As you're probably aware, Jill published a memoir last year, and she's still giving some pretty revealing interviews while promoting the book. In November 2023, she and Derek appeared on Dr. Julie Hank's podcast, where they made more surprising claims about the Duggar family and their controversial belief system. Jill spoke about her estrangement from her parents and revealed that the final straw came when her father, Bob Duggar, tried to turn her against Derek. And it seems that Bob's meddling in the couple's early courtship process didn't end there. He also made a weird power move on Derek when he learned that Jill's suitor had previously dated other women. "Not that I did anything terrible," Derek explained on the podcast. "Our upbringings were different in that way, where I very much felt like it would be sinning if I kissed before marriage, and it would be sinning if I did not follow the rules that were laid out," Jill chimed in. "We were able to, as a couple, make our own rules, but there were also extra rules that were laid on us. One thing that was odd for me and Jill and I's early relationship, Jill's had dad asked that I contact each of the women who I'd kissed and apologize. It was extremely awkward," Derek said. And it seems Jill was initially thrilled by her Derek's willingness to kowtow to Bob's demands. "He did it. At the time I was like, that's so great," she told Hanks. "I got some interesting responses," Derek said of the bizarre chore assigned to him by Bob. Derek also recalled being taken aback by some of the Duggars' more esoteric beliefs, including the view that women should wear long skirts at all times. "My mom wears pants, and my in-laws, Bob and Michelle, would say, 'She's such a godly woman. We love your mom,'" Derek said. "And I was like, she wears a business suit, and she wears pants. Why is it so simple?" he continued. And when Jill, there were rumors and we hadn't even said anything, and her dad pulls her aside and says, "Hey, I heard you're wearing pants," and gave her a book on why it's not good to wear pants. These days, Jill wears pants whenever she feels like it, but her newfound freedom has come at a cost. Insiders say she's no longer on speaking terms with her parents, and it doesn't appear that there are any plans for a reconciliation. As one of the most beloved members of the Duggar clan, Jessa has built a beautiful life with her husband Ben and their 5 amazing kids: Spurgeon, Henry, Ivy, Fern, and George. If you've ever wondered what makes each of these little ones so special, you're in for a treat. Let's get started. Jessa Duggar, the 5th child of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, rose to fame alongside her siblings on 19 Kids and Counting. After marrying Ben Seawald in 2015, she embarked on her own journey as a mom, and wow, does she have her hands full. Together, they've created a loving home filled with faith, fun, and lots of laughter. With 5 kids under the age of 6, there's never a dull moment in the Seawald household. First up is Spurgeon Elliott Seawald, born November 10, 2017. Named after the famous preacher Charles Haddon Spurgeon, this little guy was the first grandchild in the next generation of the Duggar-Seawald family. At just 6 years old, Spurgeon is already showing signs of being a natural leader. He's known for his adventurous spirit and protective nature toward his younger siblings. Whether he's climbing trees, helping out around the house, or teaching his little brothers and sisters new games, Spurgeon brings energy and enthusiasm wherever he goes. Fans love how much he resembles his dad, Ben, both in looks and personality. Next, we have Henry Jack Seawald, born December 30, 2018. Henry is the thoughtful second son who balances out Spurgeon's boldness with his calm and reflective demeanor. Henry loves art, building blocks, and anything that lets him express his creativity. He's also incredibly empathetic, often stepping in to comfort his siblings when they're upset. Despite being only 4 years old, Henry shows wisdom beyond his years, earning him the nickname, the philosopher, in the family. Now let's talk about the first daughter of the family, Ivy Jane Seawald, born August 15, 2019. Ivy has completely changed the dynamic in the Seawald household, bringing a touch of girly charm to the mix. She's strong-willed yet sweet, holding her own among her older brothers. Ivy loves arts and crafts, singing, and dressing up in pretty outfits. But don't let her feminine side fool you. She's just as adventurous as her siblings and isn't afraid to climb right alongside them. Her bond with her mom, Jessa, is especially heartwarming to watch. Fern Elizabeth Seawald, born February 24, 2021, is the gentle soul of the family. This little girl has a way of calming everyone down with her quiet strength and intuitive nature. Fern is deeply empathetic and seems to understand emotions better than most toddlers her age. She's often seen comforting her siblings during disagreements or sitting quietly with someone who needs support. Her love for sensory activities like painting and playing with textured materials highlights her creative side. It's no wonder fans call her the peacekeeper of the group. And finally, we have the youngest member of the crew, George Emmanuel Seawald, born March 16, 2022. George is pure sunshine wrapped in a tiny package. Even at just over a year old, George lights up every room he enters. His infectious laugh and curious nature keep everyone entertained. He's already showing signs of following in his siblings' footsteps, whether it's trying to climb furniture or joining in on family dance parties. As the baby of the family, George gets tons of love from his older siblings, who adore taking care of him. One thing that stands out about Jessa and Ben's parenting style is how they blend tradition with modernity. They prioritize faith, education, and family values, while embracing contemporary approaches to raising their kids. The Seawalds homeschool their children, incorporating technology and hands-on learning into their curriculum. They also emphasize emotional intelligence, encouraging open communication and conflict resolution skills. Despite having 5 young kids, they manage to maintain a peaceful and joyful atmosphere at home, a testament to their dedication and teamwork. It's clear that Jessa and Ben are doing an incredible job raising their little ones. Each child is unique, but together, they form a tight-knit, loving family that fans can't help but adore.